Hi, he's David.
And he's Doug.
He's deep undercover.
And he's a villain.
And together we are...
2D? Revelation? Whatever. Yo!
So, this is a couple days late because somebody fell asleep after a funeral. God, stop being so emotional.
I can't help it. It's just those days, you know.
God.
Nah, it's stuff. But yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do this 2 days after, 3 days?
I think it's about 2 days. Either way.
Spectre.
Spectre.
Bond.
Latest in a James Bond series. directed by Sam Mendes. Starring Daniel Craig.
Craig David. Daniel Craig.
Ben Winshaw. God, I can't. Let's just say Daniel Craig and some other people.
Yeah.
And so, let's start with the good stuff.
Good stuff.
Liam.
Okay. Action. Yeah. Lots of it. There's loads of... Okay, the fight scenes. I like the fight scenes. They were really good. There were nice little bits to them. Yeah. There wasn't much like camera shake or anything. It was very much like, we're going to watch these guys fight. And it was kind of cool.
Yeah. I also particularly like this had a pinch of humour in here that the rest of the Daniel Craig Bond series hasn't had, with the exception of Skyfall. Skyfall was a little bit more playful, but this felt like a romp. And there is a particularly welcome return of this sort of physical comedy in this. It's not like, it doesn't like stop the entire thing for a gag, but there are certain points in which Bond gets ridiculously lucky, and then he's like, I got lucky. But he doesn't say anything. It's just Daniel Craig's face communicating the fact that even he can't believe how lucky he got.
Yeah, I know a bit, John, about it, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Yeah. It's just like, nothing is said, but I'm just sitting there, just wailing with laughter in my seat.
Another good point. Near the start of the film, there's actually a really long shot which is taken, where the camera follows James Bond around.
What you're on about is the redonkulously long tracking shot at the start of the film.
Don't undermine me, underminer.
Go on, continue.
Yeah, there's a long tracking shot, which is really well done. Like, you can see that there's possibly 2 bits where they've had to like cut the shot to continue it, but it works as one long little nice piece, and it's really well done. Yeah,
it's a fantastic way to open the movie. It's just like, you just like see like Bond with like his face obscured by the mask that you see in the trailer, but what the trailer doesn't tell you is that is the start of a quite literally 5-minute long shot that ends up with Bond lining up to take a shot at some people in a room. And it's done so smoothly, stylishly.
Yeah. Stylish.
It's like, was it just, can't be just me. There's like a bit in it where you think, wait a minute, they've not cut yet.
Yeah.
Are they doing this?
Wait a second.
Are they actually just going to let this shot just keep going? And it does, and it's fantastic.
It is beautiful, even the angles of the camera and everything.
It's so nice.
Nice and clean, nice and Bondy.
Yeah, that's it. It gave a welcome flash of like behind the camera flair to the Bond series. Although we've had like cool shots in Casino Royale, Skyfall. We don't talk about that one. Can we also take a moment to say, good God, the sound on this? It was like vicious. Did you not notice that? Just how clear the gunshots were, and like...
It just sounded Bondy to me, typical spy movie sounding.
I'd also like to add that Ben Winshaw as Q is fantastic in this.
Yeah, he plays a bigger role than in the previous. I think he was introduced in Skyfall, wasn't he? Yeah.
In Skyfall, he just popped up for like 5 minutes, so the audience would go, Q!
Q, the quartermaster!
But he's cute, though. I like it. He's cute. You could, like, hug him. But he also devises implements of huge destruction. But
he's got funny parts.
Yeah, Q has these, like, lovely, funny little bits, but I think the best bit is he's the perfect follow-on from Desmond Llewellyn, and John Cleese as Q before. He retains this sort of slight aloofness to Bond that he's had in the past, and he's like, the characterization is very, very nicely done. And so you can get with this where he's just like condescending, but at the same time understands. And there's like, I don't know about you, but I sense there's a little bit of Bond that Q is scared of.
Yeah. Like,
Q knows very full well that Bond is this like slightly off the rails kind of like
super spy off the rails.
Yeah.
I guess he worries what Bond would do if he said no to some of his requests. Like, I guess he just goes, well, I probably should. Because if I don't, screw off that spy.
Yeah. And he has a. I don't think it's spoilers to say that Q is actually involved in this somewhat. And he has his own particularly tense scene, and she's not like a damsel in distress, but he's like way out of his comfort zone.
He gets into trouble, and he's like, "Oh god, time to go."
And he's like, and you can see Q, this character of Q, who up until now has never had to really be involved in anything, just like freaking out, trying to remember basic training, like, how do I get out of this situation? Good God, what do I do?
It was good to see him out of his comfort zone, to be fair. Let us get to know the character more.
Yeah, it was... I'm going to say it. I loved Desmond Llewellyn as the grumpy old Q. And John Cleese was... but I'm probably going to get stoned for this, but I'm going to say Ben Whishaw is the best Q. I wondered how long it would take you to start sniggering at that. But yeah, Ben Whishaw as Q just nails it. Anything else, Lynn?
Nah, I can't think of anything right now.
Alright. I think I should start the negatives.
I started positive, so you can go for it. Tell me what you think.
Oh god. You could probably see this one coming a mile off, but...
Is it?
Fuck the title sequence.
But the writing's on the wall.
No! The title sequence. Why?
I kind of like the title sequence, but I can completely understand where you are coming from. It's not as creative as the previous one.
Sam Smith's voice is whiny,
and it's actually cut short as well. Like
it's actually cut short in a weird way as well.
Like it,
Sam Smith's voice is whiny and pathetic.
The music's great, like the orchestra.
The orchestra's great, but if they'd had Adele doing the vocals, it would have been way better. But that's not quite my only...
We're not on about the music so much, it's...
But, like, it felt like there was a riff. Like, there were two teams making the title sequence. One team was like, okay, we've got Spectre, we've got this big... We're going to have like, motifs of this big, creepy, black octopus. And whenever you see it, you're going to feel dread. It's going to haunt your nightmares. And that works. Yeah. Every single part of it where you can see the big black octopusing it up. That was fantastic. But then it feels like there was another team working on it who said, what have all the Bond films in the past had? Nakedness, ladies, dancing. Throw that in there. It's a party. Just do it. I don't care if it fits with the music, just do it. And then a third party were like, we should really put some shots from the movie into this title sequence, and I don't care why. Yeah. So you've got kind of lazy elements in it. You've got, like, one part of the title sequence felt really nice. I mean, the Bond title sequence has always been, like, a bit for the graphical artists and special effects people to just have some fun. It's always been a visual treat, but this felt lazy in so many ways. I really wasn't impressed with it. I even think Quantum's one was better.
Oh no, that's pushing it.
That's pushing it. I know. Yeah. I'm going to have to say it's probably a tie. But if Quantum of Solace used the alternative theme that they could have gone for by Eva Alma, it would have saved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope to God there's a rejected version of the theme for this that I can find on YouTube in a couple of years. Please let there be one, because the title sucked.
You cool?
I'm cool. Liam? Anything?
I'm gonna go with... I don't know, that's spoilery. You had a quarrel with monologues.
Yes.
You go with that. Go with the monologue thing.
I don't know, I wanted to make it your thing.
I need to think of something real quick.
Okay. If you have seen The Incredibles, you will of course be familiar with the bit where Syndrome says, "You sly dog, you got me monologuing." And in fact, there is a whole running gag throughout the film about villains monologuing. The villain monologues in this. And it's obvious. It is hella obvious. And it just feels so out of place with just how, not down to earth, but just how kind of realistic-ish they've been going with the previous films. Yeah. To have one where the bad guy is all of a sudden back to being this super suave, sophisticated, dangerous bad guy who monologues and then tells Bond everything. That feels out of place.
Yeah.
Although that's not to say that this film did not have a fantastic villain. Just that one little thing there just felt way out of place.
Bond meets a female character.
Yes.
And she pretty much makes it clear that she'll never be with him and stuff. And then casually, not long after, she says that, like, she loves him. And it just felt a bit, I don't know, weird or out of place.
Bit rushed.
Yeah, like, you can't just, I don't know.
I will give him credit, give him some points. I missed this out in the positives because I was just so blinded by how awesome that tracking shot was. But the woman who goes around with Bond in this is quite good. She's quite an interesting character, and it was good to have her in this film.
Definitely.
But at some point, at a couple points in the movie, it felt a little bit forced. Like, certain things seem to happen just because they sort of have to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's spoiling anything to say that she gets laid.
Yeah, okay.
But I would have been fine if she didn't.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Like, I would have walked away from that film perfectly fine, knowing that she hadn't got laid, and that's totally cool. But that said, she does have a pretty fantastic, scene earlier, and she explains her reasoning and things. It's all really nice.
Yeah.
So does that leave us? I think that takes us on to the scores.
Yeah, I think it does.
And that brings us on to the scores. So, Liam, what do you give Spectre?
If you like spy films and you like Bond, then you'll enjoy a Bond film, so go see it.
Unless it's Quantum of Solace. You won't enjoy spy films if it's Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, if you're looking for a spy film, I'd say go see it. It is a decent film. It's a good watch.
Yeah,
I give it a 1.
I also give it a 1. There are some problems with this. It's not as good as Skyfall was. Very rarely do you get something as perfect as Skyfall. But this was a thrill ride. It was fun, it was engaging, it was great visually, sound was great, the performances were on point, special effects were magnificent and sparingly used. And just, it was a good film.
Is it?
So all in all, go see Spectre.
Woo!
And with that, let's move on to the spoilers. Bits we liked or didn't like in detail. You have been warned. Spoilers!
Why do we like... Spoilers are like tentacles.
Tentacle spoilers.
I've seen enough spoilers to know where this is going. Okay, where do we start?
Is it possible to start with the super awesome chase scene that's in the trailer?
I don't know, I haven't seen the trailer, so just pick out the film.
Okay then. There is a super awesome chase scene that happens around the midway point in the movie at like a ski resort. And
Snow everywhere.
Bond takes a plane
Choo-choo.
and rams some trucks with it somehow, then crashes it a bit, and then continues driving it like a big, ugly toboggan.
It looks pretty and it's really well done.
There's got to have been some amount of CGI in that, but for the life of me, I couldn't spot it.
Yeah.
Either the CG was so well done as to blend in seamlessly with everything else, or a startling amount of that was shot in real life, because it had weight. There were shots in there that couldn't have been properly done with CG. And, like, there's a whole shot where he takes it down and breaks the wings off and he's still driving it and yanking the stick to try and drive it around while it's on the ground. And just, like, going everywhere. It's a fantastic scene.
Yeah.
And it's just so well done. It's well filmed and it's, like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's totally cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah?
The helicopter at the beginning.
Oh, yes.
Basically, there's
Yes,
a
the
helicopter.
helicopter.
And the bad guy's in the helicopter and they're pretty much fighting while it's flying about. Like, it looks like it's going to hit the crowd a lot and the pilot gets knocked out and all that jazz. And 2 people get kicked out of it while it's spinning around, which is pretty cool. But
Yeah.
It's really
There
nicely done.
I will say at that point it became pretty obvious there was a stunt pilot flying that helicopter.
Yeah.
it started doing things no helicopter should do. To my knowledge, there is only one helicopter that can do a barrel roll like it did in that movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was like helicopters doing all sorts of things that helicopters really, really, really shouldn't do.
But it was cool.
Yeah. Basically, if you've ever seen noobs flying helicopters in Battlefield 3, it looks a bit like that.
I'm going to say I'm one of those noobs. I can't fly anything in Battlefield.
It looks
So I'm like, oh!
it looks a lot like that, just with a lot less abject failure.
I've tried so many times. Just can't.
Oh, that aside, it is a fantastic sequence of, like, Bond and this like this baddie who starts the whole thing off. There's bits where they're like hanging off the side of this helicopter while it's spinning around, both trying not to be thrown out of it, and they're like beating each other up and trying to throw one another out, and
then Bond's just out, like, poof, gone, dead. It's beautiful.
And then they ruin it with the title scenes.
I guess so.
Can we just talk some more about that tracking shot, though?
It was pretty.
It's just beautiful. It's like, the setup is perfect. You see this, like, big, long procession of, like, Day of the Dead sculptures
Really cool.
and
Yeah.
people dancing. It's so visual. Inferno. It's just arresting. And then you see this one guy in a totally white outfit going through, and another going through the crowd, and the guy disappears. And then it goes on to another guy in a black suit wearing a skull mask. And it kind of switches it up for a moment. Because you think, why aren't we following that guy? That guy's Bond, right? Right?
Wrong.
And then when you start following the guy in the black suit with the mask on, and you're like, wait, that guy's got huge ears. Oh, that's Bond. It's like, I see what you did there.
It was good.
Yeah, and it was like really cool as well. Like this feels like the fully accomplished Bond. This feels like the reboot's idea of what Bond is like when we meet him in like Goldfinger and Dr. No. Like we've already had the like training rough bit. This is like a cut-off move. This movie feels like full snidey, like accomplished cocksure Bond. Like then there's been like a slow transition to it, and like Casino Royale, he was like super rough, and he's just like a big pile of angry meat with a gun.
Yeah.
And in this, he's a sharp, suave, refined dude who is also capable of being a big wall of angry meat if he wants to.
He gets drilled in the neck.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop that bomb right now.
Oh yeah, you just warn me next time.
He gets drilled in the neck, just like, and it's beautiful.
If by beautiful you mean excruciating to watch.
And I think they drill him in his face at one point as
Yeah.
well.
That's kind of a negative. Like, it was a fantastically done shot, but like the point of it was to like remove tiny bits of his memory by drilling into his brain and things, and it looked all sorts of awful to look at, but he seemed totally fine afterwards. I mean, it was like
this drill
sort
will
of
remove your
pointless.
facial recognition, and he's like, I'll never forget your face, and it's like, but they just drilled that out of you. Why be like that? And they're not going to drill into his eyes, which I'm glad they've stopped. That
Yeah.
was like,
Also, I'm not sure if you can see this, viewers, but Liam's got some like little chin hair going on there. It's really distracting.
Stop looking at my chin hair.
I'm sorry, it's just distracting. I have one thing that's kind of a minor though. There was a totally unnecessary explosion in this.
With what point?
You know, like, well, okay, obviously Bond escapes the baddie's lair.
Wait, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, when the baddie's lair completely explodes for no good reason.
It's not even one little place, it's boom, boom, boom.
The entire complex
Well, there goes the
explodes.
facility. Don't know how that
For
happened.
no reason.
Wait, how did he blow up? Did he?
There's nothing in there.
It just explodes.
I'm like,
this will be funny.
he might have shot a thing at some point, but...
Oh yeah, he threw his watch bomb. It blew up the facility, but how did it blow up everything else?
Yeah, he threw a watch bomb at a computer thing.
But that's a really good point. I never
How
thought about
did
it.
that lead to an explosion? There wasn't even sirens or this place will self-destruct.
It was just lots of fire, lots of boom.
It was just like beautiful explosion out of nowhere.
What's that like? How? Don't get it.
Was that in the movie? Was there even a bit where Bond was like, why?
I know the girl and him like looked at it and then got in a helicopter, but I don't know.
Yeah, like I didn't understand. I want some explanation for that explosion.
Do you think he was just like, I did this?
My guess is that at some point in the future they're probably going to have like a flashback or like of another agent like rigging the place to explode, or like one of the bad guys self-destructs the base for reasons. like, I'm guessing that's something that might happen in a future film, because that was the most unexplained explosion ever, to the point where I was almost laughing like a hyena at it. It was just one of those things, like, it explodes because I guess it has to.
Yeah.
It's a movie, I guess the bad guy's base has to explode.
It's to.
This is how we do it.
Near the start of the film, not the Mexican bit, the bit after when he infiltrates the bad guy's place when they're all having a conversation. He kind of gets spotted, and this is like the best to note scene I have seen in a long time. He just literally goes, "Oh god, I need to not be here right now." So he throws someone off a balcony, jumps through a window, hops down some roofs, gets in his car, reverses out as fast as he can, and just speeds away. And it's just beautiful.
It really is a beautiful scene, I'll give you
It
that.
happens so fast in action, and it's just like, yeah, he really did not want to be there.
It's just like Bond's like sort of self-assuredness just disappears in a moment.
I've not infiltrated all that well right now, have I?
Yeah. He just realised his cover has been blown,
Like,
and
you
he
can
is.
see it in his face. You can see the moment where he goes, "Oh god."
Yeah, his cover is blown, and he is now surrounded instantaneously by people who can all hand his ass to him.
So he just leaves ASAP.
He
He's not
leaves
quiet about
through a window.
Yeah. It's just full on like, shh, go, 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 jump off the roof, go.
I would like to make this clear. He doesn't leave out of a window, he leaves through the window.
Go, go, go. Oh, and he points a gun at a mouse.
Oh, yeah, that was
That was
fantastic.
fun.
Actually, I think that was a really good point about his character, because you can see he's not on top of it all the time. In this, you see bits of him where it's pretty clear that, in his home life or whatever, he's probably a raging alcoholic. They've actually addressed the fact that he's just, he gets himself almost debilitatingly drunk. And there's this one scene where he's pretty much had an entire bottle of vodka. He's sitting in a chair, there's just a rat comes in, he's like, "Who are you?"
Who do you work for? Who sent you?
Who do you work for? This is fantastic.
And the way it's placed in the film is just a real nice comedy relief. And it's nice.
Yeah, the movie just got super heavy at that point. I was just like, oh, and here's a gag about Bond shooting a mouse.
It was good.
It was the best, it was the most appreciated rodent in an action film ever.
Agreed.
I appreciated the presence of that rat. Anything else then?
Some guy gets dragged off a train. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Fight scenes.
And then they're like, what do we do now? And then they bang. It really reverted to the old James Bond life. It was just like, oh no, what do we do? Let's bang. Let's just shabow it. And then the next cabin.
Shabow it.
Get jiggy with it. Do a little sham down.
I will have to add to this. This is after they pretty much totaled 3 carriages. They've just fucked up 3 carriages
That's
in
right.
this fight scene.
What do we do now? Cuts to them just making out.
It's just hands all over each other. It's just really? I mean, at that point, I did actually just laugh out loud.
I think quite a few people did, to be fair. It was just, it was ridiculous, but it's James Bond, so is it okay for it to be ridiculous?
It's this is a level of ridiculous that not even the Roger Moore Bonds could get away with.
Yeah.
It's this is just stupid. But it's entertaining.
Yeah. I think, is that it?
I think that about wraps it up.
Skyfall, Spectre.
Don't worry, I've had that problem for the last week.
Spectre, good film. Lots of funny bits. Nice
Spectre,
action.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Go see it. I wouldn't say rush out to see it. Just
Don't
see
don't
it when
get in
you-
your car right now. Just take your time and see it when you see it.
take your time. see it, just do yourself a favour and, like, I don't know, try and avoid some spoilers. And just turn off the radio. If you've got free radio on at work, just turn it the hell off.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear the title sequence. I've heard it on, like, I've the title song rather. I've heard that song on a dodgy-ass FM radio. It's not pleasant. I have no interest in hearing it in Dolby Atmos ever again. But that's it.
That's it. It's a 2D.
2D out.
Wow.